Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to, of course, talk about the Doctor Who ratings because we now have last week's figures plus the 7 days. So last week's episode, obviously, it has, we've already reported on the overnight figures. We now have the 7-day figures, so the 7-day viewership figures, plus the BBC iPlayer figures. So it is quite interesting. We've obviously seen a downward trend. I just report on this weekly, just some facts and figures. And we've seen a downward trend. So it is fascinating to see that sort of just plan out. And it's just compelling, quite frankly, to see how far it can go. And yeah, it's interesting. So hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. Please do turn the bell notifications on. So as always, I take my data from Doctor Who TV. Really good source. Really good source, actually, of this information. They get it direct from the BBC. So, yeah, it's just that they are the internet source, basically. A few things to note. Doctor Who has never shown up on the Nielsen ratings either. So for those that will look at these figures and go, yeah, but actually, let's move the goalpost. And actually, they're really good over on Disney+. They're not. Nielsen is what tracks Disney+. And it's never appeared on the top 10 chart. So probably not doing well over there either. Because it's just never appeared. Which is not good at all, considering Disney hasn't really released too much. So, not good. But anyway, let's take a look, shall we? So as I always do, I always take a look at how they break it down, because it's just unbiased information. I'm just trying to give you the information as it is. So they break it down as the following. So the overnight TV ratings only include those who watched it live and those who recorded it and then watched it that evening. So it can be the live viewership plus those individuals that recorded it but watched it that evening as well. So you can record it and watch it later in the week, but it won't be on the overnight ratings. That's important. Then +7 is the consolidated ratings for those who recorded and watched within a week. And then +4 is the final consolidated figure. It also takes into account viewers on tablets, PCs and smartphones. And then Live Plus is also BBC iPlayer, which is that all-important figure that people keep using to move the goalposts further and say that this hasn't been an abject failure. But it has. So let's take a look. Oh, FYI, Audience Appreciation Index. BBC they're not showing this. In fact, they are refusing to show this. Doctor Who TV themselves reached out to me and said they contact BBC to get this information. And in the 20 years of running this website, they have never been refused the Audience Appreciation Index. So take from that what you will. I think that's quite revealing, but you may have a different opinion on that. So anyway, let's have a look at the figures like I always do. First two, because these were shown on the same evening, 2.6 million, 2.4 respectively. It lost 200,000 viewers between episodes, which is not good. And then for the +7, which we'll just focus on here, it was 4.01 million and then 3.91 million. So it lost 100,000 viewers between episode 1 and episode 2, which is not good. Then episode 3 and 4, which you can see here, respectively 3.58 and 4.06. Now, the 4.06 was a bit of a fluke, to be honest, and it has been shown to be a fluke because we've seen that in terms of all the data set. So that was when the Doctor wasn't present in the episode. So not really a surprise. And then episode 3 is 3.58 million. Now, episode 5 and episode 6. So episode 5 became 3.38 million for the BBC iPlayer +7 plus all that other nonsense. And then episode 6 was 3.52. So last week's, which was Rogue, which was the lowest of all time, now been beaten by the episode that's just gone. I guess that is last week's now. Anyway, you get my point. So 3.52 million. So it has gone up, not by a lot, but it did go up. So I think that's quite interesting, actually. So to be purely objective about it, it did go up. Like, hey, that's good, right? Of course, that's good. I wonder though, because when it sort of goes up and goes down, I wonder if people will be put off by the content of that episode. Now, I'm not saying people should be put off. I don't know, right? I'm not in your heads, okay? But that was what was historically known as the first gay kiss in Doctor Who. It wasn't. They've done that before. But I wonder if that is what caused the spike in the BBC iPlayer viewership. Because obviously on the evening, people didn't really watch it. So I wonder if that you know, and the massive buzz surrounding it is what caused it to spike in the BBC iPlayer. I don't know. I'm asking questions and positing it to you guys, so you can leave your thoughts down below. But to be objective, look, it did go up. It did go up. Absolutely, it went up. But I think it's important as well, just as an FYI, to address something, because I literally just did a video on this person, Danny Megan, who runs Who Culture. But I think it's important to take a look at the individuals that were sort of retweeting, well, basically retweeting it. Because, ladies and gents, there's some poor quotes in here. So Sean Ferrick also runs, well, he works with this Danny Megan person. But I think it's important, right? So this individual retweeted it, quote tweeted it. I'm not talking about the actual tweet itself, but the replies are interesting. So people have said that me reporting on this information is hateful and misinformation, things like that. But what they fail to realise, because they don't bother to watch the videos, which is funny because they're telling me I'm spreading misinformation. But this individual here says, I've seen a few people say the ratings are the lowest ever. Have the BBC and Disney actually reported what they are yet? Yes, they have. And I'm literally reporting them weekly. C, there's an entirely new way of calculating it. Exactly the way I'm calculating it. That's how I'm doing it. So the hate mongers are jumping on that. No, I'm showing the BBC iPlayer figures. It's now no longer the numbers watching the BBC broadcast. There's iPlayer. So I'm showing that. And we can't show the Disney Plus figures because they've not appeared on the Nielsen charts, which means they're really bad. You literally can't show that because they've not appeared. It says, and seeing all those together would be far more telling of views. Showing the BBC iPlayer figures, 3.58 million, been as objective as possible. It went up. But the Nielsen ratings are not there. So that's not good. That's actually really, really, really bad. Genuinely, that's really bad because they've not reported anything. And that's what I was thinking. More people are going to watch it on streaming, but they're not, actually. And the information bears that out, which you can see here. From 2.6 million episode 1 to on BBC iPlayer plus the 7 days, I mean, it's only 1.4 million people watched it. That's not a lot. And again, episode 6, so the ones we just reported on, it seems to be stable at 1.4 million. Right? That seems to be stable across the board if you look at that. Genuinely, it is about the 1.4 million mark. You know, this episode 3 spiked to 1.5, you know, 1.58. But it's 1.4 million people watch it across the 7 days and BBC iPlayer. So I would not say that's positive by any stretch of the imagination. But those are the figures. Just dealing in raw data. I'm getting hate for it, but it is what it is. Anyway, there you go, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop it down below. They've obviously, you know, they have filmed season 2, but I do wonder if it will get renewed for season 3. I doubt it, but we shall see. It'll be interesting. I doubt Disney will look to re-up their contract and give the BBC like $100 million or whatever it was. It's a lot of money. I can't imagine they're going to do that. So, but we'll see. They may have contractually obligated to. But leave your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Please do subscribe to my second channel. It's a car channel, actually. Link down below. You'll find it there. Or just Google, well, YouTube, car nonsense. It's me, nonsense with cars. There you go. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.